Hello friends, it's just a quick rundown on the new fighter system in Citadel. So when you log in for the first time, you're going to see something like this, just your standard ship HUD. But you won't have any fighter bomber UI that you previously had. So in order to access that, there's this little transparent button down here. Click that and voila, there's your new fighter and fighter bomber HUD. Now, to show your ship modules and your fighter HUD at the same time, you detach it by clicking this, and then you can move it around wherever you want. I just prefer it right there. Now, the first time you do this, all of your tubes are going to be empty, your launch tubes. So you're going to want to click this, fighter bay, access your fighter bay, and then drag and drop onto your launch tubes. Now, the amount of each type that you can control is listed up here. Now, you can control 3 lights at once, 2 support, and 3 heavy. Any combination of that. So once you load your launch tubes, close that, and click this, launch all fighters. And you'll notice there's like a blue outline around these. That means they are all selected. Now I only have one selected, the Cyclops 2. And to select all of them, you can either hold Shift, click on the very last one, that selects them all, or you can just hold Control and click them each individually, and select whatever type or amount of them that you want at the same time. So in order to pull them all back in, you click this, recall all fighters, and it will pull them back in and refuel them. And you'll see like a little clockwise loading bar inside. Gotta wait until it's done. Now good, they're refueled. Now, let's go on to hotkeys. So launch them all again. Make sure they're all selected. Now anytime, once they're all selected, you have the blue bubble around them. If you use hotkeys for navigation controls, or like F1, F2, F3, F1 through F3 by default is going to use their 3 abilities. So F1 cycles their generic blaster cannon and auto cannons. F2 cycles their prop mods, and F3 uses their special attacks, their salvos. And that's whenever you have the fighters and fighter bombers selected and they have the blue bubble around them. Now, if you want to use hotkeys on your ship modules, you click on your ship capacitor, and now you'll see you have a blue bubble around your ship. Now anytime you press F1, for instance, see it's trying to activate my newt. If I cancel that, click on Cyclops 2, and then press F1 again, it's going to try and activate the salvo. But there's no target locked, so it won't. Okay. So as far as navigation goes, using the in-space flight paths, you're going to need your tactical on, because if you don't have your tactical on, you won't know what direction you're trying to move them. So for instance, press and hold Q, and you can see you can move it all around, but you don't know if it's going vertical, horizontal, diagonal. You just don't know because there's no tactical overlay on. So what you're going to need to do is turn on your tactical. Make sure you have your fighters and bombers that you want selected. I'm just going to select them all. And then when you press Q again, it is going to stay on the horizontal plane out to whatever distance you want to use. So there is a new fax on grid. Say we want to move these towards the fax. You're going to press Q, extend it out above it, click once, and then drag it down diagonally. So about right on top of it, and then click a second time. and now they are all moving towards that lift. Now at this point in time, you could click on their micro warp drives, press F2, or just manually click to get them headed towards it. Or you could wait until they're there and reactivate it to bring them back. It's up to you. I'm just going to bring them back. So recall fighters. Then press F2. That'll bring them back quicker. Pull them in. I see that it's refueling them all. And you have to wait until that refueling is done to be able to use them again. So let's launch them again. Let's lock up this lift. We're not going to use the manual movement this time. So we're going to turn off the tactical. We're not using Q to move them around. You can right click, making sure all these are selected. And then if you right click on this lift, click orbit 7500, they will all head towards that lift, orbiting at 7500. As long as your fighters and bombers are selected, your navigational controls will apply to your fighters and fighter bombers. If you want them to apply to your ship, select your ship HUD, and that selection bubble will be around your carrier or your super, and vice versa. So, say you have all your fighters and bombers selected, and you want to kill this lift. So you're going to press F1 to activate the generic guns that you do not have to reload. And that's just their standard sustained DPS. Now, if you want to apply your special attack, which is your salvo, press F3. And as you see, it does a lot of damage. Now you're going to have to wait until this cycle completes to press F3 again and apply your torpedo salvo. And the fighters have a little bit faster cycle time, so you'll have to manually click those to get them going again. Now if you want to bring them back or stop shooting, just press F1. It'll deactivate the guns, and you can just leave them there orbiting, or you can just, click on this, recall fighters, then press F2, activate micro warp drives, and watch as they return. And it is as simple as that.